Good afternoon. Welcome to Coffee and a Card. I'm Holly with Handcrafted Blessings. Looking forward to being here with you today as we make some Halloween projects. So, I don't even know what we're making. How's that for an interesting way to start this Facebook Live? Okay, I'm trying to make sure I'm live. I know I was a couple minutes late, so make sure that everything is working here. Looks like it is. Excellent. Hi, Brenda and Karen, Jean. Welcome to everybody who's coming in here. Excuse me. I have a friend here who's helping with some kit prep. And we were talking, and I just lost track of time. So sorry about that. It was just a few minutes late. So hello and welcome to all of you guys as you come in here today. We're going to start off with some happy mail before we jump into our creative portion. Well, it's all creative, but our creating, there we go, our creating part. But I've got some happy mail here, which is super fun. Honestly, it's one of my favorite parts of the week. So when you guys send me happy mail, I don't open it when I first get it. I put it in a special spot and I bring it out on Tuesdays. So I am seeing it live with you for the first time. And it's so fun. I love it. I love that you guys are sending cards. I love seeing your creativity, and it's so fun for me to get to show off your cards here on Facebook Live. So yeah, Jean says she loves seeing happy mail. I do too. It's so fun. So yeah, so we're gonna do that. So we'll start. Oh, and then we'll do Halloween, a Halloween project. So, and it's a surprise to all of us. All right, first card comes from Sherry in Colorado. And let's see here. Here we go. And it says, Faith Over Fear. Very cute. And you see the background there is the quatrefoil embossing folder. And she has just back and forth folded her designer series paper to create that look. That's how that's done right there. So very cute. Flower on the inside. Oh, as I hit myself in the head with it. All right. Next, we've got one from Roxy in Minnesota. Oh, hers is in plastic, so let me just open that. All right. It says, thank you for everything. I love this paper. This is probably one of my favorite fall papers that we've ever had. I love the one that has the pumpkins that are Cajun craze with the black background. I love it. So, but super, super cute paper here with this fold. Next, we've got one from Jan from Wisconsin. Let's see here. We got some papers here. There we go. Happy holidays. Oh, that's so cute. And what a great way to use the Merriest Moments embossing folder. You see that there in the background? Bring that up here. And this is, oh, I can't remember what it's called. It's like a shimmer paper is what that is. So I don't know if you can kind of tell how that background shimmers, but she's just embossed it with that Merriest Frames embossing folder. So you don't have to cut it out. You can use it as a background like this. That's really cool. It says, may your season be merry and bright. So it's a Z-fold. Here, let me back it up. It's a Z-fold. She just has a large panel on the front. So you could open it like a traditional card, but it's actually a Z-fold. That's really cool. So this is part of the fun of Happy Mail, is I get to see how you guys think in your card making. Because we all make things so different. We use the same products, but we think through things very differently. Oh, who's this from? This is, oh, it's from another Holly Paplo in California. And this is the paper I was telling you about. That's the other one that I really like. So, and this one. Oh my gosh, I love this paper so much. Mossy Meadow. You know, green is my favorite color. And she's got her note on the inside. But isn't that such a cute thank you card? So, love that. Okay, last but not least, we have one. Oh, this one's from Ruthie Holiday. She's one of my downline. Ruthie is actually the person who introduced me to Stamp It Up. So, and then later she joined my team, which is really fun. But Ruthie randomly brought me some boxes of stamping supplies when she heard that I was making cards, and she had extra stamps, and they were all labeled Stampin' Up. And so that's how I heard about Stampin' Up. Okay, how's this work? Oh, here we go. I had to figure out how the fold worked. So it opens up like this. I'll bring it back here. So, fun little panel card. And it says, "So lucky to call you friend." That's really cool. I like this fold. And I love the way the cinnamon cider paper looks on that. Very cool. All right. So I guess we all have Ruthie to blame for today. Because she's the one who introduced me to Stampin' Up, and I got hooked. So it's been such a fun journey for the last, let's see, I started making cards 6 years ago. So almost 6.5, I guess. And it's been super fun. So I'm just going to set those cards aside there. I know some of you have been crafting for like 20 and 30 years, which I think is amazing. I look forward to the day when I can say that too. But for now, 6.5 years is what I'm at. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put my camera down. So, whoops, there we go. All right, so we are going to be, make sure I've got this all situated. So we're going to be making Halloween treats today because Halloween is coming up. So I'm not going to be home for Halloween, but there are kids next door, and I really wanted to come up with something that I could give them since I won't be here. I don't even know if they go trick-or-treating, but I discovered that this Spooky Treats, the September paper pumpkin kit, I got some requests for you guys to see this kit and make some Halloween treats. So we're going to do it. I know it's treat boxes, but other than that, I don't know what this kit looks like. I've not even seen spoilers on it. I just know that it's Halloween, and I know that it's treat boxes. So let's create together. If you have this kit or you have something similar, this will be fun to see. If you're new to Paper Pumpkin, let me just explain for a second. Paper Pumpkin comes in these magical boxes to your door every month. You can skip a month, so if you are, let's say you're not a Halloween person, I typically skip the Halloween kit, honestly, because I don't send Halloween cards, and I don't typically need treat boxes. But this year, because of my neighbor kids, I decided that I was going to get one box. So you can always skip if you don't want a specific month. We don't know exactly what's in it. They typically tell us the theme and whether it's cards or 3D projects. You know, we know like the size of the cards, how many, stuff like that. But overall, it's a box of surprise fun that comes to you each month. So, but what that does mean is you have to sign up by the 10th of each month in order to get Paper Pumpkin. And after that, it's typically not available. Once in a while, they will have refills of these kits available on the Stampin' Up! Website, but it's not guaranteed. So if you think you might want a kit, I always recommend signing up. So you get an ink spot with every kit. This one is Orchid Oasis. So I'll actually be grabbing my Orchid Oasis full-size stamp set. I save these for giveaways for you guys. Then we've got a stamp set here. It says we got Happy Halloween. We got some bats, spider webs, stars, a spider, ew, a ghost. Enjoy this spooky treat and trick or treat. That's just an advertisement for Paper Pumpkin. So it always comes wrapped in tissue paper. Usually, I shouldn't say usually. It's sometimes coordinated like to the kit of the month. Like this one is black. I save it because when I mail out team gifts, I use Paper Pumpkin boxes. And so I save the tissue paper in the box in order to mail out my kits. All right, what are we making today? Oh, we are making treat boxes, and there's 3 different kinds. Looks like there's 6 of each. So good amount of treat boxes here. So let's open this up. Now, the first time that you get a paper pumpkin kit, you're also going to get a stamp block so that you literally have everything you need in order to create these kits. It even comes with adhesive. So I do recommend that you grab a pair of scissors and you grab your favorite adhesive when you're making these kits, but they're super easy to take on the go because they do include what you need. So in this case, I see tear and tape. There's also some dimensionals. They include glue dots if needed. So I always just say grab your favorite adhesive and a pair of scissors and you'll be all set to go with these. So we've got some tear and tape here. And then we've got some black stars in different sizes. Dimensionals, these are mini dimensionals. Speaking of these, funny story, I opened my car door a couple days ago, and just inside the driver's side door on the floor is a partial page of dimensionals. Could somebody please explain how those got there? You guys, I have no idea. They're just randomly inside the driver's side door of my car. All right, so here's one thing I'm seeing already. Number one, these do not have to be Halloween cards. So we have fresh freesia treat boxes. We're gonna have these white treat boxes, which I think that's supposed to be a spider web. But the first thing that I saw was actually like a sunshine. So, and then these, which again, if you decorate them with some other words, this doesn't have to be Halloween either. So I'm seeing options for non-Halloween. Okay. Then we've got some boxes here in black and orange. So we got those. Oh, and white. So we got black, orange, and white boxes. Then we've got some, let's see, these are die cuts. Sometimes they're stickers, so I just have to turn over and look at the back, but these are die cuts. We've got some more here, different size rectangles, different colors. These are all die cuts as well. So they will, you know, pop right out of here when we need one. Here's the glue dots that I was talking to you about, that the kits often come with. We've got some ghosts and some spiders. And then it always comes with a set of instructions so that we have full color, step-by-step directions on how to make these kits. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna make a kit and we're gonna see if we can figure this out. It's always interesting to do these when I do these paper pumpkin videos because I literally haven't seen this before, you guys. So this is how you're gonna, this is called live stamping. Very, very live. Okay, so we are starting with an orange box. And let's see, we'll just grab one of each because we're gonna do all three. So there's those. And then that way I can set a few things out of the way. So we're just gonna pick one of each box and one of each wrap, and then that way I can put all this excess out of the way. Okay, so then we'll leave our die cuts and everything here. All right, so first we are going to do an orange box. So what I like to do is I like to start by just folding on score lines, kind of breaking them down, if you will. It makes it easier to fold. This is always the part where I'm like, is this going to be embarrassing when I can't figure out how to make this box on live video? That has happened before, where I'm like, I have no idea how this box goes together. Hopefully that won't be an issue here. Okay, so I'm seeing this probably goes here. And think of, when you're folding these boxes together, think of like a basic box shape. I bet this one goes last. So you're always trying to get to a basic box shape. So I like to kind of fold my flaps and see how that might operate. So then I can cover this side, put that on the inside. There we go. So as you're kind of finagling your boxes, always be thinking about how am I going to get to a basic box shape. So maybe that needs to tuck under that other one. I bet it does. I bet this big one needs to be like the last thing that we do. So we need to take these 3 smaller sides, and those are the first 3 that we do. And then this big flap becomes the last thing that holds the box together. There we go. Let's do that again, because we have to make 3 of these. So this big flap that's straight is going to be the last thing that we do. So we're going to fold in these tiny flaps. And again, we're always trying to head towards a box shape. So obviously we want to fold them in. We need to fold this in. And then we're going to fold these. That's what I'm always trying to tell myself. How do I get to a box shape? That way you can kind of decide, okay, which direction do my flaps go? So you see how I'm heading towards that box shape? And then last but not least, we do the big panel side. Because that, it has a little slit right here that it fits right inside, and so then it holds your box closed. And you don't need any adhesive. That's really cool. Very handy to have. All right, last but not least, as long as we're folding boxes, 3rd time's the charm, right? If you're watching this and you're trying to figure out how to do your boxes, we'll get you. I gotcha. So we're doing that side one first. Then we'll fold this one over these side flaps. Tuck that in. And last but not least, we do the big one. And tuck that little flap in. So there we go. So now we have 3 cute little boxes. Okay, but we're working with the orange one is what we're going for. So our wrap for the orange one is the spiderweb wrap. And this is our cover for the box. So again, I'm just going to fold on all these score lines and kind of break them in to make it easier to wrap the box. And it looks like we're supposed to put a piece of tear and tape on this flap right here. Okay, so we're going to grab one of these. Now, this is where I would tell you, okay, I'm going to stop for just 1 second. You have this cute little orange box, but let's say you don't want a spider web wrap for it, okay? What I would do is measure this piece of cardstock, okay? You're going to measure the width or the length and width and all your score lines, and you're going to end up with a piece of cardstock that you can now wrap your box in. So it doesn't have to be spider web related. It doesn't have to be Halloween. And so for this particular kit, if you have this and you're trying to figure out what to do with all of the boxes, that would be another way that you could use the supplies. All right, so let's take that off. Oh, I think I just did that wrong. Let's see here. Yeah, that's supposed to be on the inside, isn't it? Yep, I just put that tear and tape on the wrong side. I wonder if I can peel it off. So with tear and tape, if you haven't pressed it down super far, sometimes you can just peel it right off. It's ripping my paper a little bit, but because it's on the inside of the treat box, you're never going to notice. So, but I put my tear and tape on the wrong side. This is one of the challenges of live paper crafting, but it's all good. It's all good. Okay, we'll try this again. So we're making our wrap, but we want to tuck this flap inside so you don't see it. So that's why my tear and tape was on the wrong side. There we go. So now I have a wrap for my box, just like that. Okay, we are supposed to take a Fresh Freesia tag. So we're going to take that. And we need our stamp set. So we're going to take this here, and we're going to do Happy Halloween. So like I said, I'm going to use my regular size Orchid Oasis ink pad. But since that's the color that comes with it, in some of these things, we are going to kind of follow some directions. Ooh, that's not well inked. There we go. So we'll stamp that on here. And then we'll take our... I would say this is crushed curry. Oops. One of these die cuts. And it looks like we're going to be attaching this here to the front of our box here. So we are going to be, attaching it right about here. But because of that spider web, I need to use glue dots. And so I'm going to do a glue dot here. Oops, stuck to my finger. And we're going to do another one right there. And one right there. Okay. Because that way I'm putting them in spots where they can be... I'm going to take this off, because then I can use my fingers in here. So I'm putting my glue dots in places where they're going to be hidden by the spiderweb frame. So those little spots away. So that from the inside, my box is not sticky. I don't want it to stick to anything, you know. So then we can put our crushed curry piece right there. And just like so. Then we'll take our Happy Halloween and we're going to put some dimensionals on it. Because what is a project without dimensionals, right? I mean, is it even crafting if you don't use dimensionals? I don't know. I'm sure it is. But I feel like somebody might question my sanity if I don't use dimensionals, right? All right, so here we have our Happy Halloween. And then we're gonna take a spider. Let's see, where's the spiders? Oh, here they are. We're gonna take a spider here. And we're gonna put one dimensional. And I gotta figure out, I gotta make sure that I can put the dimensional somewhere that it will be hidden. So I'm gonna stick the dimensional right here. Right there. Because again, we don't want sticky stuff from the inside of our treat box. So we're gonna have the spider hanging down from the Happy Halloween. Okay, and then looks like we're gonna grab some stars. Grab both sizes here. And we will add some stars in a few different places. So this one, you just have to be a little mindful of where you put sticky stuff, because we don't want, so when I'm feeling inside of here, we don't want anything sticky in here, because then it's going to stick to whatever you're putting in your treat box. So we'll stick that there. And just like that, we have our first treat box. So now in terms of sizing, to give you an idea of how big these are, let's try putting some treats in here. So we'll pull this open and just gonna dig here. So I've got some Reese's Ghosts and I've got a York Peppermint Patty. I think that's gonna go in there. So that's 2 pieces. So that's a Reese's Ghost and a York Peppermint Patty. So we'll put those 2 in there. We'll save this other candy here. All right, so there's one. So then I'm gonna turn my page. And we're gonna do our black treat box next. And that one's gonna have our kind of orange and black pattern. It's a little harder to see the score lines. So actually I'll just turn it over. So now I can see the score lines from the back. And this time I'll make sure I put my tear and tape on the correct side. That is one nice thing about doing multiple projects of the same type is you get better and better at them. So we'll put our tear and tape here. And fold this over. Just lining it up with the edge of the flap. And the reason you use tear and tape here, you would not want to switch this out for like a basic tape runner because this is going to need to be fairly sturdy because it's going to be pulling on and off of your treat box and you don't want that flap falling apart. So tear and tape is great because it's a little bit stronger. And so with coming, you know, on and off of your treat box, it's nice and sturdy for what you're doing. Okay? All right. So let's see here. We're going to take a ghost. And we need a rectangle die cut. So one of these. We need a spider web. I think that's it. Yep, that looks right. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of tape back here. And we'll put some dimensionals on the ghost. I think it's so handy that you get all these dimensionals and stuff in a paper pumpkin because obviously you're going to have extra. So then you can use them on other projects. I would say if you're new to paper pumpkin, the only thing to know is that sometimes the dimensionals in a paper pumpkin kit are not the same thickness as the dimensionals that you buy straight from Stampin' Up. So you want to kind of be mindful of that if you end up in a situation where you're mixing and matching. They're not quite the same thickness. So just be mindful of that. All right, so we're gonna stick this guy here and we're gonna put our ghost on like this, like that. As long as I still have my fingers in here, we'll just grab a couple of stars. I like these black stars. These will be fun to use on cards and stuff too. They have those black stars. Okay, so then we're going to take our rectangle and we need another stamp. So we're going to do Enjoy This Spooky Treat. So we'll take that here and we'll do a block. I love that it's Orchid Oasis. That's a fun color to use for Halloween treats. Except I think I need to re-ink my Orchid Oasis. All right. Oh, there we go. Okay, so what I will tell you, because I know I'm doing this live and I'm only making one of each version, if I was making this paper pumpkin, I would take, oh, this is stuck to something. I would take this sheet of die cuts and I would go through and I would stamp each of the white ones. And then for that last box, I would go through and stamp, you know, each one of these fresh freesia pieces. Because then you can just assemble everything at the same time and you're not stamping and assembling one at a time like I'm doing right now. So that's just an option for putting it together. Okay, we're going to be sticking this guy here, so we don't want dimensionals over here on this side. So I only want dimensionals on the one side where my thumb is not. So we'll just put 3 of them here. And then I'll just stick a little bit of tape on this side so it can just be taped down to the ghost. That way we keep everything level as we're going. Okay. Oops. All right, so there we go. Let me throw those backings away. And then we'll just, so we've got that, and we're just gonna stick our little black treat box in here. And before I do that, let's grab, let's see, we've got some Witch's Brew Kit Kats. They're actually green Kit Kats, they're kind of fun. Let's see, we got another pumpkin. Oh, I think we could fit a couple of, actually, you know what, here, we'll do a York. So we can actually do 3 in this one. So, do that, we'll just slide that in, because they're kind of different size treats. So there's our second one. So last but not least, we're going to do our white box. And this one is going to have the fresh freesia wrap. This one, again, like I said, you know, you've got a fresh freesia wrap and you have a white box. I think it would be fun to stamp some of these with, you know, happy birthday or, you know, thinking of you, have a great day, and just surprise somebody with a little treat box. You could, you know, die cut some flowers to decorate this box with. A lot of options here that I'm seeing because it doesn't have to just be for Halloween. Okay. So we are going to take this bat die cuts, and we need another one of these die cuts. And these are just cute little die cuts here. So lots of possibilities here, you guys. Okay, so for some stamps, we're gonna need some bats. And we're gonna need trick or treats. Oh, you know what? We were supposed to stamp on the box before I taped it closed. Well, that's all right. We will modify. Okay, so I've got my sentiment. We're gonna put that right here on the circle die cut. There we go. And then for our bats, make sure I have these the correct direction. We want to stamp a couple of these on the box. So I'm just going to flatten the box here. Oops, let's get a better, so that I can put some of the bats back on here. There we go. Then we'll just pop our box right back up. So there we go. I missed that step when I was looking at the directions. Okay, so how do we do this? Let's see, we're gonna tape this strip on here. And then we'll, oops. Let's see, let me make sure my bats are flying the correct direction. What a fun color combination to do pumpkin pie with fresh freesia. Oops, nope, we don't want to do that. We want to dimensionalize this piece. So I'll stick these here. All right. So we'll put this on here, and then I'm sure we'll add some stars here to embellish it as well. These dimensionals are a little more challenging to get those backings off. Pokey tool might be helpful on that one. All right, so we're going to stick those here. And then we'll grab some stars. And put some stars on here randomly. There we go. Slide this in here. And let's see here. How about some cookies and cream fangs? And maybe another witch's brew. Oh, those are nice and flat. They fit right next to each other. So we'll do a white chocolate ghost. So there we go. We can tuck that in, close that. And so here we've got 3 really cute treat boxes. And again, I hope what you can see is, like, let's say that you accidentally subscribe to a kit, or again, because these kits are a surprise, we don't know exactly what we're getting into. So what I want you to see is that there are so many ways that you could modify these. You know, if you think about this one, you take off the bats and the orange, and you now have options for a super cute box. You know, this kind of already looks like a flower. So, you know, you could stamp a happy birthday, maybe put a strip of Design and Sherry's paper behind it instead of the pumpkins. You know, put some other fun colors with this one and turn it into a cute little birthday treat box. This one's a little bit harder just because it's a spider web. But again, I think what you could do, you could actually cut out a couple of pieces of DSP. And before you tape this white piece, so let me take this off and measure this square right here and cut 2 pieces of, 1 piece of DSP or cardstock, and you could just tape it right over the top, tape it right on the inside, again, before you assemble this. And now you just have a white, you know, treat wrapper with whatever coordinating colors that you put on it. So definitely some ways that you can modify these to not be Halloween, because like I know I don't need as many Halloween treat boxes as there are, so I'm gonna have to modify some of these for birthdays, for teacher gifts. If you've got kids or grandkids, you could just because gift, you know, maybe a just because gift for your coworkers. I hope you can see that there's lots of options when it comes to paper pumpkin and how you can modify things if you were to get a kit that maybe you're not a fan of, or maybe you just don't need this many treat boxes for Halloween. So you modify. So that's what's partly, I think, super fun about paper pumpkin gifts. Or paper pumpkin kits. I love the surprise every month of what it's going to be, and figuring out what I can do to make use of the supplies that are in it. So I hope that gives you some good ideas for using your paper pumpkin kits. I know we've just gotten, I think we've gotten Christmas cards, maybe Christmas tags. I don't remember what, the next kit was. I'm always behind on my kits, let's be honest. I'm sure none of you can relate to that, right? That you might have a few paper pumpkin boxes sitting around, needing to be caught up on. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me for coffee and a card today. I hope that gave you a little crafting inspiration for your treat boxes, or for making your own boxes as well. So thanks for joining me. Don't forget to encourage one another and build each other up. I'll see you soon.